hiring and interviewing is something that the volume as these companies are ramping in such a meaningful way, being really good at that is something that can often make or break the company. In the actual processes that you're asking these questions, what do you tell people to look for? Do you have a prescriptive way of approaching the interview?
Yes, very much so. So again, this is one where I just summarize someone else's work. There's an author who wrote a book called Who, WHO, which I think is the best recruiting book ever written. And I just, say, do what he says, but people don't want to read the book. So I summarize it and I, takes 10 minutes to read my summary and it has all the things to do. And the key thing is that there are people who are really good in interviews and they're terrible performers. And this is very often in sales because they're just really good relationship people. So interviews are very unindicative of someone's performance. What's very indicative is how they've performed in the past. So when I do an interview, and this is what the book Who says, is there's a thing called a top grading interview where you sit down with a person and you say, we're just going to go through where you've worked from college till now. We're just going to talk. You're just going to tell me who you worked, who's your manager, and who are your teammates. Or I just at this point just do who's your manager. Okay, they say the name, great. How do you spell it? Boom, great. Next job, manager, next job, manager, next job, manager. And then at the end, I say, you seem really amazing. And I'd like to make you an offer pending reference interviews. Can you please connect me with this person, that person, and that person? So I'm the one choosing who I talk to, not them, because if they choose, they're only going to choose the people they get along with. And then two, these are all very relevant people. These are all people who were their managers, who saw exactly how they performed from a manager's perspective, as opposed to what a lot of people do is they try to do like back channel references. Well, so they know someone at the company, but that person didn't work with them directly. That person wasn't their manager. That person doesn't know. So back channel references are almost always irrelevant. This is the only way that I've ever discovered that you get real perspective, but from the people that I choose, not the report chooses. And I've gotten fantastic information that way. And that's what I recommend to all my CEOs, and they follow it, and they all love the process. That's a little bit involved.
No,
You have to.
it's super interesting because I've struggled with helping my portfolio companies through the interview process at times because there are people that are really good interviewers, right? And there are people that ultimately aren't particularly good at doing the job. So trying to suss out those two things from one another is a challenge.
That's right. But there's another thing that's also important here is that you want to spend as little time as possible with people that you're not going to hire so that you have a lot of time to spend with the person you are going to hire because you need to sell that person. And what I found about selling is two things really work. One, speed. Like from the moment that I meet you until the moment that I make you an offer is incredibly short. That makes you feel loved. That makes you feel like I was confident in my passion about you from the start. But in order to do that, I've got to have time available. So what I do is I set up 15-minute first time conversations with each candidate that I talk to. Because the reality is, all I'm looking for in interviews is, do I feel like this chemical pull to somebody? And I know that within the first 5 minutes. And if I have a 15-minute interview set, then at the end of 15 minutes, I say, great, that was our time. Thank you very much. Now, if I really love the person, no one has ever scheduled 15-minute meetings back to back. So I know they have their next 15 minutes free. So if I love them, I just say, hey, you know what? I am loving this call. You seem amazing. I'm betting you've got questions about me and about our company. Can we take the next 15 minutes so that you can ask your questions? And then they say, yeah, that'd be great. And then I start the sales process already. And sales is just a matter of acknowledging people's concerns and sharing the answer to those concerns. And that's it. So that process begins immediately. And then because I do it so short, I've got plenty of time to now spend with this person in the rest of the interview process.